Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Squeaky Floorboard Society. I'm Megan,
And I'm Sage.
and you are back with us for season two again. It's been an exciting week for me. So, Sage, I'll let you share anything you want to share with the class first.
I don't really have a whole lot.
You don't want to maybe mention the weather conditions?
This is our snowed in episode. I will say that it's still snowing here out
It's snowing here too.
out in Maryland. I'm not looking forward to shoveling all this.
I'm just not going to do it.
Well, a city ordinance for the town that we live in, we have to have it done within the 24 hours after the snow stops.
Oh, I don't know if we have that here, but either way, Daryl's got a bad back, and I can't shovel snow right now, so it's just not getting done.
I feel like for at least like around here, it kind of makes sense for the fact that we are a little like mountain town, and like if emergency vehicles need to get in,
Right.
it makes sense.
Yes, this is a snowed in episode. How much snow do you think you have outside?
I think we're already at like at least 7 inches. But I don't know. I've dated men my whole life, so who knows?
Yeah, who knows what 7 inches actually is? I think the reason that Daryl didn't want to say it out loud is because it's about my medication they gave me post surgery.
That's fair.
Which I guess that's my contribution of my personal life for the week. Some of you may notice my setup is different. I was planning on changing it anyway, but it's a little half baked because I had to be comfortable. I had surgery this week. I had it on Wednesday, and it's not like a major surgery or anything, but it was on my abdomen.
Which is
And I can't take ibuprofen, so that means there's nothing to help take down swelling. So my doctor was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have a longer and probably much worse recovery because of that." And I was like, "Great, thanks." Um, so I'm sitting here in this chair. Some of you will recognize this because it's the chair that Sage sat in during our end of season one video. Uh, but I'm camped out here. Got a heating pad on. That's my best friend because the pain meds they gave me make me super nauseous.
ooh.
Like to the point where I had to go to bed last night. I took one and I just had to immediately go to bed. I was laying in bed and I was debating whether or not I needed to call Daryl in there because I was like, "Am I dying?"
I think that's the
I
worst
felt
part
so bad.
is when you're dying and you're like, do I call them in and inconvenience them? It's like that's my biggest issue.
Right, right, and also, uh, not only were the pain meds bad, but they gave me a. I don't do well with anesthesia. You know this.
Yeah.
I tend to be pretty sick for a few days after. I didn't have that this time because they gave me a scopoline, some kind of scopoline patch behind my ear, and it did definitely take down the nausea. But a side effect is that even if you don't accidentally touch it and then touch your eyes, it can make your vision blurry. And I looked in the mirror and because I couldn't see, my pupils were blown out to just. I looked like I'd just dropped some acid. It was terrible, and I couldn't see for like 3 days.
You
My dad
got
had
the
to come
effect,
over.
the bad effects of acid. You
Yeah.
didn't even get the fun part.
Although it did, like I said, I wasn't nauseous. Like didn't have any post anesthesia nausea. I didn't get motion sick in the car on the way home. So that was really nice, but I was blind basically. Everything was blurred. I looked like I don't even know. I looked insane. So I took it off and it's finally starting to cuz the effects can take up to 48 hours to wear off. And we're at the tail end of that now. So
Well, that's good. So hopefully
I
they'll
can
start getting
mostly
them
see again.
up and up.
Had a couple of homework assignments that I hadn't done before my surgery, thinking, "Oh, I'll just get them done because this isn't supposed to be a big deal. It's supposed to just be like a 3-day recovery." And of course, that's a lie. When I talked to my doctor, they were like, "Oh no, that's like the low range." I was like, "Oh, well, that's not what you said."
Yeah.
But what? Yeah, that's not what he's like, "That's not what they said," because my doctor talked to Daryl after the surgery, obviously. Um, but my dad had to come over and help me read my homework.
Oh. which is nice
and
because my
help me, and he had to help me type. He had to do basically my dad was telling me the assignment and I was just saying what to do back to him because Daryl wouldn't have understood because at least my dad's an accountant
yeah,
and I'm an accounting major. And I don't think that counts as cheating. That's an accommodation because I was blind.
yeah. I don't think that's
Um,
cheating. Now, if like your dad was like,
just straight up
just
doing
do,
it.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Also, they gave me this pillow. It's my counterweight pillow. I'm the same color as it today. But
love it.
they said, hey, you can use this if you have to like cough or if it just feels like maybe your stomach needs some pressure against it. I haven't let go of this thing except for the one time when I showered.
Sometimes just like holding a stuffed animal, even just in
That
general,
little, it feels like my freaking stomach's gonna fall out of my body if I don't. It's horrific. And of course, little man, no idea what's going on. Little kid, we've been over this before. Little kids don't care if you're not doing well.
no.
He got kicked off the couch with me this morning and was so upset because he kept kneeing me in the stomach.
Oh,
I was like, you can't do that. I had the pillow over it, so it was technically kneeing the pillow, but that still hurt.
yeah.
So just a great time, and the gas that they put in your belly to inflate it for the surgery takes so long to come out. And you don't always just feel it in your stomach, it's mostly your back and shoulders.
Oh, that's.
So I described it to my mom. I was like, yeah, it feels like they got me on the rack right now. All right. Well, do you have anything else you want to share now that I'm done complaining?
No, I'll probably talk about my medical mystery the next time.
Oh, yeah, you have because you got something going on too.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm yawning. I've been so tired. I can't sleep right. I'm a side sleeper and I couldn't sleep on my side.
Ooh, I'm a stomach sleeper.
I sleep on my stomach or my side. Can't do
Bless
last
you.
night I was able to sleep on my side for the first time last night, but I have to use this guy and like wedge him in a weird way so that my stomach doesn't like to the side.
That is. I feel for you. I hope. I hope you heal quickly.
I I'm more mobile than I have been, but I'm still in a lot of pain. Like I thought it would be, and I don't, I'm not a baby about pain.
No,
So I pushed out a whole child
with nothing
with, yeah,
until the end when they like basically forced you.
yeah. I was all good. Uh, but yeah, this kind of sucks. But no more babies. Daryl, do you have anything you want to contribute? Okay. All right. So today our our podcast takes us to Indiana.
We
We've
just.
got what?
Oh, say we just love being there, don't we?
Yeah, your last one was that in Indiana as well?
Yep. And then the
And then
next
I think your next
episode.
one is also in
So
Indiana.
you guys get 3 Indiana episodes back to back. Hope you
In
enjoy.
in our defense though, it is we did both live here.
Yeah.
I still do. So, what on earth is he doing out there? Can you hear him?
No, I can't.
Yeah. I've got my kid here for once. Usually my parents take him, but during the podcast so he's not going "Ah!" in the background. Obviously they can't today cuz we're under a red travel advisory.
Yeah.
And also Daryl's not normally here on days that I record. But he was in there going woo woo woo. I have no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, well,
I hope
I
he's not
couldn't
about to
hear it
jump.
at all.
I hope he's not about to jump off something.
Probably.
So, have you heard of Elizaville?
No, I have not.
All right. Well, this was a fun one to research. I found out about it a few years ago, actually, and I'm kind of obsessed. I kind of want to go, kind of don't. And I think you'll see why when we move through everything. I'm going to
Alright.
take a drink real quick.
Mm.
If it looks like I'm in pain reaching for my drink, guys, I am.
This is the Snowed in Pain episode.
Ugh. All right. So, in Boone County, Indiana, There is a little township called Elizaville. This town is tiny, just a blip on the map, really. Elizaville doesn't have a grand history like some small towns either. No great historical battle was fought there, no one of great importance lived there, and there was no incredible feat performed there. Yet somehow, lots of people know about Elizaville, even people who live nowhere near it. Elizaville has gained notoriety for a different reason, and it is one that if you talk about it, you better keep quiet, or the locals say it might hear you. Which, as we all know,
Ooh.
is one of our favorite. I am so pale.
You're in
It's
pain.
distract. It's My phone isn't helping either. It's distracting me. So Elizaville. We'll talk about the history of Elizaville first. Elizaville doesn't have a whole lot of interesting history. The foundation for the township was laid out in 1852 on the farm of Hiram Brinton. While Elizaville was never incorporated itself, it and the surrounding land were formed into Clinton Township in what would become Boone County. Elizaville is the only town in the township, and the World Population Review suggests it only has about 45 residents.
Wow.
Yeah, it's small. In 2020, the census returned a population of 0, which suggests the number of residents fluctuates and may not always be entirely accurate in record keeping.
Sounds like
As
it.
we know, as we know people did indeed live there
Yeah.
in 2020. And of course that was also COVID.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff was weird then. Uh in any case, it is so small that there isn't even a post office or a school. Students would have to attend the county schools. The one thing that Elizaville does have is a church, which was featured in the movie Hoosiers. Uh, Apparently that is a somewhat popular movie, but I've never heard of it and I live here.
I've heard of it. I've never watched it. Because
But in
B
any case,
Town's in
there.
it. Oh, sorry.
What is it?
I think B Town. It's mainly based on B Town.
Yeah, I have no idea what the plot of that movie is, and I probably should have looked into it because it came up in my research. But I don't give a shit about basketball,
Yeah.
and
That's
I'm pretty
fair.
sure it's about basketball.
I'll fact check.
I'm so unaware of sports that it wasn't even I was at work one day and this dude had an IU shirt on and there was tons of people in the store and I was like, this was a couple weeks ago. I was like, what? Why are there so many people here? And he was like, because of the game tonight. And I was like, what game?
It is
And I know you
indeed.
know what game.
Yeah, it is indeed a basketball movie. And I couldn't tell
Right.
you where any of I don't know any of these. The last word is notorious alcoholic of the synopsis. I didn't read all of it.
It's right for Indiana.
Yeah.
That sounds correct. Um, yeah, I'd never heard of it, but yeah, I didn't know IU was playing in the championships for football.
Did you see they burnt a couch downtown Bloomington on Kirkwood?
No, but that doesn't surprise me.
I guess like two couches got burnt because they won the championship.
You know what though? When Philly wins stuff, they set cars on fire, so I think we're doing pretty good.
I just want to know whose couches we were burning.
Probably some college students that are gonna throw them out anyway.
Probably.
Hey, 25 people threw up on this couch. Let's just go set it on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense to me. But so there isn't anything in Elizaville's history to suggest that something horrible would be there. But if the stories are true, then maybe that's the reason that the town never grew. So here we get to the legend. Rumor has it something evil lurks in Elizaville. The residents even have a name for it. You're gonna love this name. The name is Tall, Dark, and Gruesome.
I'm sorry. I thought you were going to say like Angelica or something like that.
Cyn-
I,
Cynthia.
I was not prepared for that name.
Sorry. Laughing hurts so bad. I'm here clutching this stupid dog pillow. Because this isn't what I meant. When you said Angelica, I thought of the Rugrats, and so I was like, oh, Cynthia, that horrible doll. And then I thought of Cynthia Erivo, and I was like, wait, she kind of fits, bro. I say that with love because I actually think she's super talented.
She is
But
beautiful, but
but if I saw her in Elizaville with doing the thing with her hands, did you hear she's gonna be in Dracula playing 23 roles by herself? She's playing everybody. I thought it was a joke when I read it, and then I looked it up, and it's not.
oh my goodness.
See that? Look, it's been a while since anyone's done anything interesting with Dracula.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
definitely gonna
excited.
watch it then.
I think she's perfect. I think she's talented enough to pull it off. But I thought of Cynthia Erivo, and so then I just had like an image of her stalking through Elizaville, Indiana.
I love it.
Okay. So anyway, shout out to them for this absolute banger of a name. But tall, dark, and gruesome is said to be a dark figure between 7 to 8 feet tall, which makes sense. This covers the tall and dark part of the name, but what makes it gruesome? Well, according to the lore, it's responsible for hundreds of disappearances over the years. Allegedly, there are more than a few mysterious abandoned cars and strange tire marks, as if a car was fleeing something. The most popular variation of the legend states that if you scream anywhere in Elizaville from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., the monster will track you down and eat you, bones and all, leaving no evidence behind. He supposedly roams the cornfields and the 4 cemeteries of the town otherwise looking for victims. That's crazy they have 4 cemeteries and no school, by the way.
That is. You know what? This
I
was
was
like so many movies popped into my head that this like lines up with.
literally like this is like classic mid-American folklore.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I got hung up when I was doing my research. I was like 4 cemeteries. You don't have a school, but you have 4 cemeteries. Maybe there is something killing people for you to be able to have 4 cemeteries when on average you have 45 residents.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dead people.
That's a little suspicious.
That's suspicious. We need to insert Cardi B there going, that's suspicious. I love Cardi B.
I do too.
Mind you. And she seems like a good mom. This
She
is off topic,
does.
but she seems like a good mom. Forgive me, everyone. I still have pain meds in my system. So, while there is no real evidence of the Elizaville monster, allegedly the oral tradition stretches back over 100 years, and there are plenty of scary stories online about it. I'm going to recount two of them.
Ooh.
And the reason I picked these two is because I was able to. I'll explain it. One of them is posted on several wiki type pages with no original source, but thanks to someone who, with the tag Vertigo22, who writes for the blog Limitless Possibilities, we have the link to the original stories. And that's why I picked these two, because Vertigo22 was able to track the original site back using the Wayback Machine.
I love that.
And they found the original article by Lon Strickler, who tells us two stories that he assures us are true. One is from a group of friends who were exploring, and the other is from a teacher. My mom just texted me. Dad had to give up the snow shovel fight, the snow won, after I said he shouldn't even be out there shoveling snow with his high cholesterol at the age of 64.
Also, it's still snowing, sir.
Said she goes, I don't know what he's doing. We can't go anywhere. Like there's no point. I think he's just bored.
It probably is.
So the first story that we'll cover is from the group of friends. I went to town with this is all direct quote from the story. I went to this town with 3 friends. We were able to get directions from the internet, which had been posted by a previous visitor, and eventually we discovered a simple green road sign which said Elizaville. We drove along the roads for a while, some of which were paved with gravel, making us have to drive slowly. We saw no creature stalking among the fields, no bones, and no abandoned cars, but there were some things we saw that were rather creepy. Part of a cornfield had been smashed through, as if by a car. A relatively nice looking house with its windows busted out, and tire marks on the road which swerved in weird directions. Then we came into an area that smelled of decaying meat. Also, it was uncharacteristically cold for a summer night. It seemed that we were not only pervaded by the stench of death, but the very feel of it. Also, my friend who was sitting next to me in the back of the car, KJ, complained of serious stomach cramps, which he always seems to get when something bad is about to happen. These never This never seems to occur under different circumstances than when there's trouble in the future. Our journey soon ended after I looked out of the window beside me and saw, sitting a few feet from the edge of the road, a human head laying sideways on a tree stump. The blood was still shiny and wet, and its eyes were wide open and staring straight in my direction. I went for the switch that closed the window, but the damn thing had been locked, and I told the driver to close the fucking thing. When I described what I had seen, we immediately left Elizaville and went back to Indianapolis. When we were on familiar grounds, I told them we should probably report this. They said it would be pointless, seeing that outside law enforcement never found enough evidence to convict anyone. By the time we called the cops and had them out there, the head would have likely been gone. There could still be traces of blood on the stump or around it, but this would be virtually meaningless. And Elizaville itself does not have its own law enforcement, so it would take a while for any patrol cars to arrive there. I was greatly shaken by the whole thing, and my fingers are still trembling even now that I'm typing this out. It was the first time I had seen fresh death.
That is horrifying.
Like, the two possibilities there for me are one, that sounds almost like beheadings. That's not like a normal way to kill someone.
No.
So either cult activity or tall, dark, and gruesome is sentient and put that there to scare you. And
Yeah.
I don't like either of those. Or the locals think it's funny to fuck with people.
I I think it would be fun to fuck with people if you lived in a haunted town.
Like in my mind, that's totally possible for that to be. Let's say it's like kind of dark out. I don't think they say what. So it's a summer night.
Yeah.
So in theory, this could have been like a head from like a Halloween shop.
Yeah.
And somebody just put that there to be silly,
Yeah.
knowing the legend. Or they made the whole thing up.
Yeah.
What do you have any thoughts on that?
The first thought I had was, "Oh no, it's Jeepers Creepers." I don't know why. That was the first thing that came to my mind.
He totally fits Tall, Dark, and Gruesome,
He
mind you.
does. So, do we have a year for this?
They did not provide a year. I think it was posted on Lon Strickler's site in like 2011. It's like way back. This is like early 2010s
Okay.
that this was posted. I don't know for sure what year it happened because they didn't say.
Because, like, just, I don't know, it's just giving me such Jeepers Creepers vibes that, like, if someone would have told me this, like, right when the movies came out, I would have been like,
This is marketing,
yeah.
like they did with the Blair Witch,
Yeah.
which I'd love to talk about that sometime on here. Oh my god.
We definitely can. I think,
I'm
especially with next
I probably
season's.
will. I probably will talk about the Blair Witch not as a movie, or maybe I will. I'll probably talk about that and its connection to regular folklore because it is such a classic witch tale.
It's so crazy that the filming of it only happened like an hour away from me.
Yeah, that's
We'll
crazy.
have to go.
Yeah, oh my god. Wait, we literally go like while I'm there and we get lost in the woods and die. Didn't we talk about this? The last episode of our podcast was gonna be like one of us standing again, like facing the corner
Yeah,
in an
while the
abandoned
other
house.
one is recording.
Yeah. Hey, you never know when the podcast is gonna end.
Yeah, you never know.
That'd be funny if we ended that episode like that and then didn't end the podcast.
Everyone would be so scared. We like take a
Then
month hiatus.
we have our parents put up missing posters. But we also have another story.
Do I need a stuffed animal for this one? Because I almost needed one for the last one.
Uh, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you're gonna be okay. So this is the story from a woman who supposedly worked as a teacher at Lebanon High School, which I think is near Boone County.
I know where Lebanon is.
She says, I lived on Elizaville Road, across the road from a farm. For several years, I noticed that people would drive out of town at extremely high speeds, as if they were in a panic. This usually happened at night. On two occasions, I heard a high pitched squeal that was followed by loud grunts. These sounds came from the direction of my backyard, which led to a large cornfield. Both times I contacted the Boone County Sheriff, and the deputies would take a look, but they never went into the cornfield. I had heard the stories about the monster but never saw any evidence, though those squeals and grunts were terrifying. I later got a teaching position in Muncie, Indiana, and moved away. Several years ago, I was told that a former neighbor in it said Elizabeth, but I think they meant Elizaville, like I think they just made a typo.
Okay.
Received a holiday because I copied and pasted this.
Okay.
Received a holiday visit from her sister. The sister went on an errand one evening and was never seen again. Her car was found in a field on the other side of the town. I have heard that others have gone missing, but I cannot verify that. So this lady lived there, and she's saying that she's never seen the monster or seen evidence of it. She never saw any bloody heads on stumps, but she heard some weird stuff, and people she knows that live there have had weird stuff, and obviously the former neighbor whose sister went missing.
Okay.
It seems to be a really common theme, even in even in the scary stories. I couldn't find any where someone says, "I saw the monster."
Yeah.
It's a
Definitely
lot of
folklore.
yeah, this is definitely local folklore, local legend. This isn't something that appears to really have any evidence to it. So, but everything starts somewhere.
Yeah.
And it does seem like people do believe that there are people that go missing, including residents that say people they know have gone missing. So, I don't know, that's just something I noticed in the stories was that nobody ever is like, "I saw the monster."
Yeah.
My friend was killed by the monster. It's, "No, this person I know's relative was killed by the monster. No, this person I know saw the monster."
Which, as I've learned in sociology, is that people will, if something happens, then like someone will be like, "Oh, this happened to so and so. I know someone that did." Because like we would do stuff in psychology where we would start one rumor and then we would track the different variations of how this rumor has changed.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it seems most likely to me. I'll save it. I'll save it because we're about to go over theories.
okay.
So, what do we make of this? There is zero physical evidence of the monster, and also no recorded disappearances in Elizaville. I looked it up. I am completely serious when I say that the closest disappearances are at least 15 minutes away.
Okay.
Now, to be fair, the monster could theoretically be eating people who are just passing through, and maybe no one knew exactly where they were when they dropped off the face of the earth. Or perhaps since it is so hard to find any information on Elizaville to begin with, the disappearances are just another casualty of the lack of information, especially since Elizaville doesn't have its own sheriff's department.
That's what I was just thinking of is, yeah, if they don't have it and people are going missing,
It's all Boone County.
yeah.
Now, but I do think that's super unlikely. In my opinion, this is just a classic local boogeyman.
Mhm.
Do you want your kids to keep curfew? Tell them Tall, Dark, and Gruesome comes out at night. Want your kids to stay quiet at night and go to sleep? Tell them if they scream between 1 and 3 a.m., it's gonna eat them. Boogeymen are good for that sort of thing, and that's the purpose that they fundamentally serve in folklore. Like
Yeah.
Krampus.
Yeah.
But one other theory is that it could be a black bear, despite them being wiped out in the 1800s. Now, if we legitimately take into account that, like, if we say yes, there have been these stories for the past 100 years, black bears were wiped out in the 1800s in that area. So, we go back 100 years, we say maybe this started late 1800s. In theory, there could be a black bear that attacked and ate some people,
And then
and
it just grew.
they thought the black bears were gone.
So it would just keep
And
growing and
so
growing.
tall, dark, and gruesome happens. In my mind, given where this legend supposedly starts and the fact that black bears got wiped out in the 1800s, and the fact that there have been some confirmed sightings in Indiana since then, it makes sense to me that this originated from a black bear attack or a series of black bear attacks, maybe before it was even a real town, and then
It just
it
kept
got turned
growing.
into a boogeyman. Yeah.
I can
Yep.
see that.
Somebody online suggested that it could be our old pal Dogman, which coming across that in my research was like when you're at Walmart and you run into an old friend you haven't seen in a few years. I was like, "Oh, there you are. Hello."
I
But,
love that.
I think that's way more likely than a weird demon that eats people, but I also don't find that to be super likely either
Well,
because this isn't typical Dogman behavior.
but also, don't we have, I say we as if I still live in Indiana. Isn't
It's yours
there
too.
isn't there a area where there is Dogman, and how far is that from?
It's between it's at a median point between like where I am and where this is.
Okay.
I don't see a lot of Dogman stuff in that particular region, but that doesn't mean that look, it's not very populated, so if he was going to be
Portal
somewhere
theory.
that would right, that and like I said, it's not a super populated area, so he could totally get away with being there.
Yeah.
Maybe there was one. Maybe my thing about bears, maybe it wasn't a bear, maybe it was Dogman. That would also make
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
That would make
And
a
he's
lot of
just
sense.
not there anymore.
Everything comes back to
But
Dogman.
literally, yeah, it's Dogman for this podcast, and it was Mothman for the other one, which is crazy because Dogman and Mothman are linked too.
Are they?
Well, because a lot of people think they're from the same like government cover up,
I did not know that.
or they think they're like both like these interdimensional creatures.
I can see
A
it.
dog that's a man, a moth that's a man. I see it.
I see it. Yeah.
But I still don't really necessarily think it's Dogman because if Dogman was still lurking around there would be some kind of.
Yeah.
The locals would probably talk about that a little.
Yeah.
I also didn't necessarily find anything saying that locals were still talking about this. Um, which you run into that with folklore a lot. Like
Yeah.
the episode The Morbach Monster.
Where the locals were
Locals didn't
like,
give it locals like, "What the fuck is that?"
yeah.
The locals here know of it, but I don't think they're taking it very seriously. I think they
Yeah.
treat him like a boogeyman from what I understand. But not up for me to decide. What are your thoughts?
Are you okay? Either my husband or my cat fell down the stairs.
Perhaps both.
Nobody said anything. I'm assuming they're fine. It was probably my cat. I don't know. It sounded horrific.
It's probably your cat.
I was gonna
My
say it
cat
sounds like Jeepers Creepers, but then there was just tumbling.
my cat was sitting next to my head on the couch, and because they've been very close since my surgery.
Yeah.
They know. But she was mad that I wasn't petting her, or maybe she was trying to groom me. Daryl said she might have been trying to groom me, but she kept biting me in the head. She would nuzzle me a bunch, and then she'd like lay there, and then she'd kind of bat at my hair, and then she'd lick me, and then she'd just start biting me.
Oh. It might have been
It was
grooming.
Lucy. It was Lucy, so could be either.
I feel like that's with most cats, though. Like someone will just be like, all of a sudden, like, "Oh, I love you," and then the next second they're like, "Actually, screw you."
Actually, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, but
Do you
I
think?
I feel
Go
like
ahead.
it's just like a boogeyman situation, like you said. Like if the locals aren't taking it seriously and they're using it
Yeah.
as a boogeyman type thing, then I would say
Do you need to go?
probably.
Do you need to go check on them?
No, I think they're fine. What damage can they do together?
You just come back and the stairs are gone.
They're in the basement now. I went to the basement today. That's what I did.
Oh, is your basement spoopy?
Well, I've never seen my basement. I've never seen the basement or the attic, and so I
Oh,
finally saw the basement today.
I can't wait to come see your basement and your attic because I'm nosy.
I just the spiders. I don't do spiders, and that's where the spiders are.
Oh, honey, I've already got it in my Amazon cart. I've got a hazmat suit
Told you, you guys
that I'm
can
gonna
just come
wear.
and release all the spiders. I'm okay. Like you just take them
Yeah,
outside.
I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna wear it into your attic.
But yeah, definitely boogeyman.
Yeah, I think it was. maybe once something that was a legitimate thing that's just, as with all folklore, morphed into a little boogeyman.
As we learned from Adventures with Roger, folklore can have stories upon stories, but there's always a little bit of truth in there.
Shout out Folklore with Roger. You're a G. Has Folklore with Roger been here?
What?
Has Folklore with Roger gone to
Um,
Elizaville?
Let me look. I don't. I'm sure he probably has, because he's like does all the spooky stuff.
Because, like, for real, Roger, hit me up if you want to collab. I'm scared to go by myself.
I was gonna type advantage. That's not what I meant to do.
I'm definitely not gonna take my child. He screams all the time. It's his main activity.
Let me go to his thing. No, we released a video 4 weeks ago called "When Giants Roamed Indiana."
Fascinating.
Um,
Wonder if he's talking about, like, a particular legend or if he's a Nephilim guy.
I don't know.
My double chin is really evident right now, but
You know,
I
you're
have to
doing
put
your
my arms up.
best.
I gotta put my arms up because my upper stomach is cramping.
I guess I could type in "Adventures with Roger, Elizaville."
Elizaville.
He has one called "Ancient Natural Wonders of Southern Indiana," so I don't think that he has one yet.
Ah, well, he should go. Hit us up, Roger. But that is all I have for you today, and quite frankly, I'm glad it is because it's still kind of hard to read.
That's still a really interesting story. That one story, I was like, you didn't tell me I would need Mr. Turtle.
I didn't think you would need Mr. Turtle for that one.
I
But
I get
I
scared
don't know.
easy.
That shows you my complete apathy for things on the internet. I'm like, yeah, yeah, severed head on a stump. We've all seen it. We've all dealt with that before, haven't we?
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
that's just part of that's just part of being close to 30, I think.
I just am naturally a scared person.
Someone could leave me a head on a stump in my backyard, and as long as it wasn't anybody I knew, I probably would
Gonna
just
get
be
a
like, well,
replica of my head.
gonna be out. If it's out here in the snow, if I see your Native American ass head out here in the snow, I'm not going out there. I know what's trying to get me to go out there. It's cold enough.
Yeah, I think it's 1 degree here right now.
Yeah, it's cold as fuck here, dude.
It's
They
so.
shut my job down. They shut my job department down because they were like, you guys, because they're like, no curbside. So sorry, everyone.
Uh, that's
However, corporate wouldn't let us close the store entirely.
that's stupid.
They just said, if you can get here, you can come. Like, uh,
I'd be like,
but
sorry, I can't come in.
nobody from my department went in today. Nobody.
We
I think there were 12 employees total that made it in.
I wouldn't have even tried.
And that was before they changed the travel advisory. They were all there before the travel advisory got changed. Because now, if we're for those of you who don't live places that are experiencing this, yellow travel advisory is like, hey, maybe don't go out. Orange is please don't go out. And red is if you go out and you don't work for emergency services, you're getting a ticket.
Yeah,
And we're sending you home.
my dad has to carry a paper to be able to take my mom to dialysis.
Right.
Do you
Yeah.
remember during COVID when you had to have travel papers to go to work?
No.
We had to have travel papers, and I worked at a sawmill.
That might be well, you worked nights too, didn't you?
Yeah,
I was gonna say maybe because of where I worked during COVID, like maybe we didn't need that because I didn't go in until midnight. But you worked nights too.
yeah. So I we had to carry them. Like everyone at our job, even day shift, got issued them, and it was just like that. Oh, they're an essential worker
Right. What
because
about your job was essential?
so we made lumber, like we cut down boards and stuff
I
like
know
that
that.
for pallets for medical and pharmaceutical and food companies. So like
Okay,
one of
see,
our
I thought you guys made mulch. I was like,
Well,
since when is mulch
the
essential?
backside made mulch, like all the scraps and stuff like that got turned to mulch. But because one of our bigger contracts was Eli Lilly,
Oh yeah, okay,
so
you guys would have been essential. I don't know why the fuck my job was essential. We made car parts. We made the plastic for car parts. I guess there were some of our grommets that we made that were used by the like medical field, and that's why we were allowed to be open. But they didn't make you come. In fact, they just paid you an extra bonus if you did show up. But I
we
still didn't go most of the time.
we were told by the general manager at the time that we didn't have to worry. I don't know what's happening outside of this office.
Okay.
It sounded like something heavy fell. Um, that we didn't have to worry about COVID because the sawdust would absorb it.
What he should have said was, most of y'all don't have to worry about COVID because nothing can live in y'all's bodies at this point.
Yeah, the amount of like, there's still sometimes where I cough up mucus that has like wood in it, and I'm like, this is
To be fair, not a lot of people at my job, because like I said, I didn't go most of the time. I would go a few times a week just so I could make money. Um, but yeah, I think that the plastic fumes probably prevented COVID in most of us. Because you'd be walking around no mask on, and somebody'd be purging a press, and it would smell like they just let off a round of mustard gas in the facility. Because that's what it was. It was technically mustard gas, and they should have had better protective equipment on. But yeah, I think that people there didn't get sick because the plastic fumes irrigated the factory.
yeah. 2020 was
This
a
is
wild time.
These are the most Midwest stories imaginable, by the way.
It
They're
really
like, yeah, I worked
is.
at the sawmill and the plastic factory, so nobody got COVID because nothing could live in the air there.
I did get COVID and I took out the entire sawmill. I need you all to know it's because we would buy vapes and depending on where you were, depending on what flavors you could get, so we would all try each other's vapes. And so someone gave it to me and then I just returned the favor by giving it to everyone. I took out like 17 people on day shift and like 12 on night shift.
Yeah, that's crazy that y'all were sharing vapes.
Yeah, I know. I
I say that like we weren't all still like. You would look outside and there'd be people lighting their cigarettes off other people.
yeah.
It's like, guys are awful close for a pandemic. This is why people died.
Yeah, I
I don't even
was
think I don't even think that COVID was as serious as people think. It's just everybody was stupid
yeah.
about it, and
Well,
that made it worse.
it really did.
But yep, that's all for me.
So,
I hope I don't have to read anything else today.
yeah, I got our next one. So,
Oh, thank God. Whew. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for. I'm sorry if you went blind during this episode because of how pale I am.
you're not that pale.
Uh,
You're not feeling great either right now. So,
no, I look as though I may have just had a surgery,
yeah, what you did.
and I feel like
So,
this orange is washing me out really bad.
uh, that probably is.
I may need to put something back here or get a better light.
All right. Well, I have nothing else to add to your episode
Yeah.
today. So,
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
bye.
Bye.